Good evening, Broncos country. It's the Denver Bronco Roundup Podcast. It's Friday night. We're all sitting at home, but we're having fun with you guys. Appreciate everyone jumping in, being a part of the fun, being a part of the action. We are brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, guys. If you haven't checked out the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, you need to do so right now. Covers all your Colorado sports, whether it be Broncos, Avalanche, Nuggets, or Rockies. They've got you covered. Rocky Mountain Sports Network, your Colorado sports hub. Check them out today, guys. Again, this is the Denver Bronco Roundup. My name is Keith Brugman. I'm brought to you. I'm with you with two fantastic co-hosts this evening. Let's kick it off. I'm going to go down below, say hello to Jody, the Judge Moncrief. Judge, man, we usually don't get you on a Friday night. Thank you so much for joining in. Thanks for being a part of the show, man.
What's up? One day closer to Russ being back in 2024.
Ooh, getting spicy already, man. A little bit of breakup there. Sorry about that, bud. But yeah, maybe a possibility of seeing Russell Wilson don the orange and blue again. Don't know what the percentages are. Maybe we should get into that right off the bat. Maybe that's what you guys should load up in the comments right to start. What percentage chance does Russell Wilson have of donning the orange and blue in Mile High once again? While you do that, I'm going to get over to our other co-host for the evening, Mr. Trevor Salzman, the Rocket Man. How we doing, sir?
All doing all right, Keith. Just excited to be here and have a great show and talk about more Denver Broncos, the Russell Wilson, the whole 9 yards. Let's get into it. The time is now.
The time is now. Yeah, absolutely. Got to shout it out to our first commenter. Came in before we even went on the air, guys, over on YouTube. By the way, Doggy Dog World, he says, good evening, fellas. First time on the show, here to support Clams. He supports us last week, Chiefs big winner. And if you guys are wondering why there's someone talking about Chiefs being a big winner over here on the Broncos channel, over here on the Denver Bronco Roundup, if you're not used to our Friday nights, as of lately, we've been bringing on Mr. Joey Clams with about 15 minutes left in the show. He breaks down all the wagering on the NFL games. Of course, he told us that the Chiefs were going to take home the dough, and take home the dough they did. So get ready for Joey Clams come the end of the show, guys. And thanks, Doggy Dog World. By the way, while you're over there on YouTube, type in winner, WINNER, over on YouTube, guys. Get entered to win the giveaway. We got to get that sent out to somebody here pretty soon, guys, and want it to be you. So thank you so much, Doggy Dog World. Also want to just say hello to Kenny Kirkpatrick saying, evening, fellas. I'm starting a Russ jar for Jody. Jody puts $1 in the dollar in the Russ jar every time he mentions Russ tonight. Man, Jody, do you have the checkbook ready? Are you ready for that?
I may go broke.
From now on, you better just refer to him as Wilson. No, just kidding. And then maybe you can skate around that Russ jar right there, buddy. He's saying kidding. Looking forward to the show. Facebook user, if you could do me a favor, head on over to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them your identity, I guess you could say, so we can say your name, see your face. If nothing else, put your name in with your comment. We would appreciate it a bunch. Clayton comes in and says, hey guys, smash that like and share button. Man, Clayton, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming in here, always supporting, always being that guy. and always getting us taken care of. Telling people what I always forget to do, guys. If you don't mind, please like, follow, share, subscribe. Make sure you comment. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't know how long we have to say that. You can also listen to us over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. So, gentlemen, I put it up there. I figured this might be a great way to broach the topic. I'm sure we'll end up going down the rabbit hole as it is. But the more and more I thought about it, when Sean Payton was hired, George Payton wasn't necessarily guaranteed a job. We were on George Payton watch about this time last year, wondering if he would have a job. George Payton was under a lot of fire for signing Russell to a $250 million contract before he played a snap, after we traded and gave up multiple picks and multiple players in order to get him. So I'll start with Jody. Jody, what do you think this team would have looked like if we wouldn't have traded for Russ? And that was the only difference that we had went down at that path that we had went down at that point. What are your thoughts about Drew Lock and Sean Payton and not having a large contract like Russell Wilson brought to the Denver Broncos? Oh, I don't know if I have your mic on, buddy.
I still don't think Drew Lock would have been here with Peyton. You would have had Lock and Hackett for 1 year, and we know Hackett was a clown show, along with Lock, who wasn't playing very well, couldn't beat out Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think he would have been here. Peyton would have came in and had a top pick probably and free reins and the money to go get what quarterback he wanted that was available. So does it turn out different? Not in the beginning, but it probably turns out better for what Peyton wants because he's has free reins and the money to go get what quarterback he wants.
Yeah, it would have been a completely different position. Graham's coming in, doing the right thing, putting in #winner over on YouTube. Got to give him a shout out for that. Trevor, what are your thoughts, man? If we wouldn't have made that trade, what position would we have been in? Jody put it down that track. Hey, we still had Hackett. We still would have had like a Bridgewater in there. Who knows what would have happened? We might have been in a better draft position because of that. And Sean Payton might have been in a better position to go get his quarterback. What are your thoughts around, boy, what if that trade never went down?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't blame George Payton for making that trade because of where Denver was at after the Peyton Manning era in Denver after Super Bowl 50. How many different veteran quarterbacks and bridge quarterbacks did you have? And rookie quarterbacks that just didn't work out time after time. And Russell Wilson made the Pro Bowl in 2021. That was the year before Denver traded for him. And so he was declining, I would say, yes. But still, I think a guy that Denver had that was way better than what Denver ever had on their roster previous years, Super Bowl 50. So, I mean, I don't mind George Payton making that trade at all. You got to swing for the fences at some point in time. If that's for a rookie quarterback, if that's for a veteran quarterback that's got pass of winning and a 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback. We all thought we were getting the Russell Wilson going to come here to Denver and really take this team to the next step, and it just didn't happen. What would this team look like? I mean, I think it would be you have more draft capital. I think George Payton, what I didn't like about it was George Payton really kind of took away his strengths as he is the GM, trading all that draft capital away. Yeah, I think he really kind of hurt himself as a GM because that's, to me, is George Payton's best trait overall is drafting in the draft. That's usually his best trait. Go back to when he first took over GM and some of his free agency signings. And then look about what he did in the draft. Pat Surtain, only first-round pick George Payton has had. That was, knock out of the park, a home run. So, I think that, and you can look back to his whole first draft, Javonte Williams, Quentin Miners, a lot of those guys, a real contributor to this roster. But I think that it was just taking away the strengths of yourself as a GM. But I don't mind that he took the swing for the fences. I don't think Drew Lock would have been here either. I don't know that he would have been the answer per se. Hard to say. When in Seattle, he hasn't really done much. I think you would have seen this team probably be in better position to get a rookie quarterback. Though I will say that. And over the past couple of drafts, 2 or 3 drafts, I think you would have seen this team probably make a play for rookie quarterback. Probably should have done anyways. Not went after Russ Wilson. Probably should have went more that rookie quarterback route anyways. Trade up for that rookie quarterback that just never happened. And you swung for the fences and you just missed terribly.
Swung for the fences and missed terribly, says Trevor. I want to bring up this one. This is from our other side of the K&K Sports Show, Mr. Kurt Valente. I'm going to bring on Jody on the screen. Kurt Valente comes in here. By the way, Let's Talk Broncos, Kurt Valente, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, guys. You got to check it out, along with the whole slew of K&K Sports shows, guys. They do a fantastic job over there. But Kurt's coming in and said, had to make that trade. I'd still make that trade. Seattle would have been so much better last 2 years with Russ over Geno. Got Pete fired. What are your thoughts about that, Jody?
Yeah, I agree with that. Look at what Russ was in 21 coming off that hand injury. I mean, he threw like 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, he was balling at the end. And Pete knew what he had in Russ. I think some of it got overblown. Do I think Russ tried to get Pete and their GM fired? I don't know if I believe that. I just think there was a lot of resentment because Pete treated Russ different than other players. Which, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, you listen to Marshawn Lynch and he says stuff about Russ, but Marshawn Lynch is a weird dude anyway. So
I mean, there's a few videos of him out there too.
Now, I was going to say, going back to your last question, the bigger mistake I think was the Hackett hire. That was the bigger mistake. I think if you pair Russ with Dan Quinn, a different coach, he's still here this year, and Sean Payton one is not here. I think you give that more of a chance than 1 year. Just was such a clown show that Denver didn't really have a choice. I think any competent coach, they're here for year 2, and Sean Payton is not. What that does for Russ, I don't know, but I still think that Russ would be more in the plans than what Payton wants him to be.
Yeah, I had the flux capacitor all fired up and running, thinking about Drew Lock and that possibility. But you bring up a very good point. If we wouldn't have brought in Nathaniel Hackett and we would have brought in a more competent coach, how would that have changed things? Like you said, a Dan Quinn with a Russell Wilson, maybe it just gets off to a better start altogether and doesn't get to this point where we're at it within this season. That's another possibility that we're looking at through all of this. It hurts when you have a 4-loss season. Wanted to hit this one real quick too as well because well, first off, to finish off our last topic, Kenny Kirkpatrick's coming in here and said you would have had Malik Willis at quarterback.
No. Not the answer.
It's not the answer, but unfortunately, sometimes that is the way it goes. You know, it's not easy to go out there and get that quarterback of the future. If we look at last year's draft, outside of C.J. Stroud, who came out of that draft looking good this year? It wasn't Bryce Young, I can tell you that. You know, so there's already one of your top 2 guys, and you start going down the list, maybe you can start talking about who else is in Tennessee all of a sudden. I'm blanking my mind.
Will Levis.
Will Levis could have an argument as far as having a decent season, but outside of that, it gets pretty slim. It's slim pickings out there. So going the rookie route is a little bit scary. Got to say, not scary at all. Mr. Michael Ronquillo, fantastic supporter of the show, coming in and saying, good evening, Jody, Keith, Trevor. I might have said that out of order, but that's okay, man. I want to get to this, man. Jody, I know that me and you have been back and forth a little bit, so I might as well bring it right to the table. you're very, very much against any bridge quarterback. I'm going to ask you the question you asked me. Is there a bridge quarterback out there better than going Russell Wilson or a rookie? And who is closest if there's not one that's better? Who would you default to if needed be? And I'm going to need your mic on just to let you know. So,
let me go back a little bit. If there was a bridge quarterback out there that someone could show me was putting up better numbers than Russ, then I'm for that. That's realistic that you can afford.
yes,
you can't say Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is going to get paid big, and you cannot afford to go pay whatever he's going to get. 80, 90.
Probably Baker Mayfield too.
Yeah, Baker's going to get paid. You can't afford that. So, of the realistic options, it doesn't make any sense. If you spend 5, 10, 15 million on a bridge quarterback, that's 5, 10, 15 million that you can go put towards another position, fill a hole, and let Russ develop. I have more confidence in Russ than some backup guy that's been a journeyman his whole career. That's my thing. If it's not Russ, then it's a rookie. You draft a rookie. Peyton is supposed to be this offensive guy. Davis Webb is supposed to be this great quarterback coach. You bring him in, you develop him, you start him day one, just like the Colts did with Anthony Richardson, who was raw, and you let him take his lumps, but he's learning, and away you go. For every quarterback you can say, well, look at Jordan Love. That's one out of how many others that start day one and play. You play him, you let him grow, take his lumps, and you trust the process that Peyton will grow and develop him. That's
enough.
my reason. If there was another quarterback out there that you could say he has better numbers over the last 3 years, more wins, everything, and you can get him cheap, then I'm for that. But that's not out there, in my opinion.
Maybe it's not out here this year, but Trevor, I know that you've been looking over everybody that might be available and weighing all the options. Heck, fantastic article. In fact, I'll probably drop it here in the link of all the options that might be available to us at quarterback. What are your thoughts? Is it Russ? Is there a bridge quarterback that can, as Jody says, get us at, as good, if not better than Russell Wilson? Or is it rookie, and is a rookie going to be able to come in and start that day one, as Jody said, throw him to the Lions, let him get his lumps, and move on from there? What is your thoughts on the whole process, man?
Yeah, I mean, so again, I'm for keeping Russ. I would keep Russ if you can, because again, you're paying him regardless the same amount of money if you're keeping it, if he's on this roster, if he's somewhere else. But here's the thing: being realistic and looking at everything, Russell Wilson's likely not on this team come March and comes free agency. So they're likely going to cut him. So what I'm doing is, and I'm saying is, go. What's the next best option? Well, here's the thing: you have a coach, and this is the whole thing. Going back to the whole Sean Payton hire, was that the right hire? Because this is why I say that. You have a roster that could go either way. You could rebuild. You could try to compete with limited draft capital and with limited cap room. Here's the thing: you move from Russell Wilson. Do I think Sean Payton wants to take a step back with a rookie quarterback and want to develop him, or does he want to win next season? Because he always talks about in his pressers, I want to win. He said that at the end of the year, when it's at the end of the year press conference, I want to win. Are you winning with a rookie quarterback? The three guys, I should think there's 4 guys in this draft class that probably starts day one. That's the 3 guys top of the draft. You're likely not going to get them. Michael Penix Jr. possibly, because he does make the throws that I think you could see on Sundays. Again, there's different issues with that. I'm not sure Peyton will want to start a rookie day one. He's never done it before. So why is he going to do it now when he knows his clock's starting now? You get rid of Russell Wilson, no more excuses. You're now the Sean Payton clock's is starting now because he didn't want Russell Wilson here in Denver anyways. So his clock's starting now. That's why I say I could see him going after a veteran quarterback and trying to, if he's that quarterback guru or that quarterback head coach, then why can't that quarterback come in here and and have a better season. There's no bad 1-year deal. That's why I say I'm not saying sign guy for 2 or 3 years. I'm saying 1-year deal. Then you don't have to go into the draft having to take a quarterback. You can still take a quarterback if you fall back. Maybe that guy sits behind your veteran quarterback, and then you can still try to compete, and you have that next guy to take over next season. I just don't want a rookie quarterback throwing day one because I don't think we're ready. I don't think like it's going to be a successful season doing that. You're going to likely be taking a step back. So are we prepared to take a step back with a rookie quarterback and all the struggles that comes with it? I just don't think Sean Payton wants to do that. That's why I say I could see him going more for a veteran. Yeah, do I agree with him getting rid of Russell Wilson? No, I think he wants a quarterback that will run his offense. A lot of Russell Wilson success last season was off-script plays, not Sean Payton playbook. So he doesn't want that. That's just how Sean Payton is. He wants a guy to run his system. So whenever he brings that guy in, that's what he's looking for. So for me, a guy like Ryan Tannehill makes a lot of sense. I think he'll be cheap enough for Denver to get. If it's worth $10 million, here's the question to ask. If you're going to pay him $10 million, is it worth paying a guy like Ryan Tannehill, who was in the playoffs in 2021, and you take a chance with Sean Payton, be that guru head coach, that offensive guy? Ryan Tannehill has never had an offensive head coach. So keep that in mind. Sean Payton would be that guy for him. Say Denver, you have a realistic chance of making the playoffs next season. Do you take that chance with Ryan Tannehill, sign him to a 1-year deal? You can still draft your rookie quarterback, set behind him a year, or do you want to go rookie quarterback with probably little to no chances of making the playoffs?
Good points on all sides, guys. I want to get to Michael Ronquillo. He's saying there is no one bridge quarterback I want here with the Broncos, except for Drew Lock. We love our own, guys. We love our own. And, we had a chance to see him. We all felt bad for the development. Kenny Kirkpatrick coming in here saying, my bridge is Drew Lock, but a guy I would bring in as a backup with a chance for a starting job is Sam Howell. 27 for 39, 399 yards, 2 TDs versus Denver in Denver. Maybe he can excel under the so-called guru, Payton. Couple of names that were thrown out there. I want to get to it really quick, and then we're going to start moving on. At 45 after the hour, we bring in Joey Clams. He's going to break down everything that is the AFC and NFC Championship, and that's right around the corner, guys. Jody, Drew Lock, Sam Howell, couple of names put out there. Sam Howell is a name that I hadn't heard before, not one that I'd certainly given you. I'll have you throw your mic on and give me your thoughts around those two guys, and then we'll probably move on to the next topic if that's all right, guys. Oh, by the way, guys, everybody in here, please, 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 I said this at the top of the show, I'd love to get what you think the percentage chance is of Russell Wilson coming back to the Denver Broncos. I want to throw this up really quick, too. Doggy Dog World comes in and says something that maybe I think that you'll agree with, Jody. He says, I don't think Payton is a fit for the organization. They have the players. The coaching is not working together with the players, just my opinion. So getting back, Drew Lock, Sam Howell, are those palatable options for you?
This is where I'll disagree with probably everyone. I was never a Drew Lock guy, and I don't really like that as an option. If Russ is not here, then draft your rookie, take your lumps. That's fine. It's one step back for 2 steps forward, because at least you're giving hope to everyone that we're going to develop a guy and we're going to stick with the guy. This is the guy I want. And that way I can be okay with, we may not make the playoffs, but for us to go get a Ryan Tannehill or whoever, or Sam Howell or Drew Lock, and you go 500 again, and you're in the same position next year drafting, what did you gain out of it? You gained nothing, and now you're picking in a worse quarterback class.
Possibly, yes.
By what people buy, right?
Yeah.
So what did you gain out of it? If you're gonna go 500 again and do the same stuff, why pay 10 more million when you can just get that from Russ, or the possibility of going to the playoffs with Russ? You have the same chances, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I got to ask you one question before I flip it over to Trevor. This is a real simple one. Jody, will you be okay if Russ isn't on this roster next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
But where I won't be okay is if Russ is not on this roster and some journeyman bridge quarterback is starting, and I definitely won't be okay if it's Stidham, because that does nothing. That shows that you're not in it to win. What is your plan? You have to put a plan forward. That is not a long-term plan. I understand Russ is not maybe a long-term plan, but I also get the feeling that Sean Payton, he's scared that if Wilson comes back next year and they actually make the playoffs, win a game, then then what does he do? Then how do you release? Then how do you let that quarterback go?
That's fair as well, man.
Why go down that road? He doesn't even want to risk that. So, no, will I be mad? No, I'll be disappointed, especially if it's not for a rookie that gives us direction and clear direction and hope.
That's fair, man. That's fair. I like the question. I had to ask it, man. I know you're a huge Russ supporter. Believe me, guys, I'm right there with Trevor. I think option one is always best to bring Russell back. As Trevor said, it puts us in the best position in the draft because we don't look needy. We can end up drafting that rookie and bring him in behind Russ. Whenever that rookie is ready to take over for Russ, so be it. And that's what I would like to do. What I'd also like to do is give away our prizes in our giveaway. And Martin's went over to YouTube, typed in winner. He's all entered to win. I wanted to hit this really quick, though, too. There was an article put out. It was a three-way trade. It was us, the Miami Dolphins, the Chicago Bears, and we land to what were your thoughts around that three-way trade? Is there any possibility around that? And would Tua fit in this system at all, Trevor, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say no. I would say that there's no chance of that. Again, your Miami Dolphins. I mean, unless Mike McDaniel falls in love with someone else, in the draft or something. I can't see him getting rid of Tua right now. That's a guy they're probably going to lock up long term, and I mean it's a long shot because that was trade that sent Justin Fields to Miami.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's a downgrade. You're downgrading quarterbacks right there. I don't see. There's not a chance that that's happening. They're not trading Tua.
Last thing on this, Doggy Dog World comes and says Peyton needs to let the leaders call the game like he did with Drew Brees. Maybe something we need to look into, guys. I've been talking about an offensive coordinator change might be a nice little outcome from all of this evaluation they're kind of coming through, and that might be a possibility as well. God, Carl's coming in here saying no on Tua as well. So last one in here, new name, Rigo's coming in and says Russell, it is not coming back, period. So that's his thought around the percentages. Man, we only have about 5 minutes before we got Joey coming on here, guys. So I'm just going to hit this really hard, man, really quick. Coaching has went crazy all of a sudden in the NFL. All the spots are filling up quick, man. Trevor, give me 60 seconds or less on what you think about the coaching hires and what's happened so far around the NFL, maybe even what's left.
So Jim Harbaugh, obviously that's the biggest one that everybody's talking about, to the Chargers. That's franchise changing for the Chargers. They needed that, honestly. And again, I would love to see Harbaugh here. He was my number one guy last year, but he backed out late. He wanted to go back to Michigan. He had a great program, and it worked out well for him. And that Chargers job has been a job for the past couple of years that's been attractive to multiple head coaches, Sean Payton included, wanted to go to the Chargers. So Chargers said didn't want him for whatever reason. So that's the one that makes a big impact on Denver again going forward. Looking to the AFC West, gonna be interesting to see what they do. Again, I think Justin Herbert. I mean, that's the glue that's been keeping the Chargers going. I think, let alone he's just very attractive quarterback. For a guy like Harbaugh, he doesn't have to replace his quarterback. There's talk about JJ McCarthy. I think he knows what JJ McCarthy is. JJ didn't have to do much with Michigan. He had a running game, but I think that Harbaugh will make Herbert a better passer. I think he'll fix that run game. He'll fix that offensive line. That defense will get back to be where it's at. Could actually be see the Chargers possibly here. Probably, I don't know about this next season, but 2025, I would say that's a team that probably might be top of the division, the AFC West. So that's just how changing Harbaugh is. He's gonna change the culture this year, much like Sean Payton did with Denver. Can change the culture this year. Can't do much with the roster because of the Chargers, where they're at and with their cap room right now. But I think in 2025, that's when I think he'll start putting his stamp on that roster and you'll start seeing some turnover there, and he'll build around Herbert and get the best out of him. That's the one that really stands out the most. The rest of the head coaching jobs, I'm not surprised Bill Belichick did not get a job. Again, it was rumored that he might go to the Falcons, but a lot of teams are not high on Belichick, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. I think he'll set out a year, probably be a consultant somewhere. But I thought it was an interesting get with Morris, and then quickly with Seattle and the Commanders' job that's still open. I think Seattle, Dan Quinn's probably the guy that's likely going to get that job. I think it's his job to lose. He's had connection back to Schneider, the GM there. So I think it's his job to lose. Mike Vrabel, another guy that is definitely in play there in Seattle. If he doesn't get a job, I think he'll be another guy that will probably sit out another year. So that's 3 head coaches from last year: Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, and Bill Belichick, who won't have a job, probably be consultants, and they'll sit out a year for the next head coaching cycle. And then with the Commanders, I think Ben Johnson is the guy that Detroit Lions OC. He's the guy that's probably going to get the job there with the Commanders. Makes too much sense for them having the number 2 overall pick. Whatever they take, Daniels or May, they'll pair with that OC and go from there, and then have plenty of cap room. That's a team that he really likes and really wants to join. The Panthers were also interested in him, but I think he's the Commander job way more attractive for obvious reasons: draft capital, young roster. They got playmakers around there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. But that's kind of everything around the league. Just 2 more head coaching hires that we're waiting on right now.
Whew, that's the Rocket Man breaking down on everything really quick. I'm like, man, if you want to hit 1 or 2, talk about the vacancies, he hits it all.
Hard to do that in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Somehow you get it done. Must be the caffeine. Must be that Lion coffee. Jody, what are your thoughts about the hirings that we've seen, the hirings that we have, and the openings that we have? And then, man, we better get over to Joey Clams and get some wagering advice before we head into this weekend.
I would say the Panthers is probably the biggest surprise. The leap that guy took from quarterback coach in Seattle for all those years to 1 year OC, and now he got that job. And the hire, just because I'm a Broncos fan, is I hate seeing Harbaugh go to the Chargers. That instantly, every year Chargers have a top 5. Everyone claims they have a top 5 roster. This. Now they have a top 5 head coach, and you pair him with a quarterback that's never won, but everyone says puts up numbers and is this elite quarterback. Well, Harbaugh is about to make him an elite quarterback, and that's scary. That's a young quarterback in this division.
Young quarterback, always been a competitive team. Harbaugh, he certainly got it done with the 49ers, man. What he was able to pull off with the 49ers, I thought was nothing short of amazing. I was a big Mike Singletary fan, and he came in there and relieved him and took that team to a whole different level. If I had to talk really quickly about a coaching hire, I was way back in the day, guys, when we were looking and we were bringing in Hackett and we were bringing in everybody else. Brian Callahan, who got hired for the Tennessee Titans job. Denver Bronco, once upon a time, as he was quality control, offensive quality control, coaching assistant, offensive assistant from 2010 through 2015, went on to coach Joe Burrows and the Bengals as a offensive coordinator, and now he's head coach of the Tennessee Titans, a guy that I liked a lot. I'll be watching out for to make strides down in Tennessee, and excited to see what he's going to be able to do as well. Not to take away from Harbaugh, like I said, I think he's going to be an absolute beast in this division. This division, if Andy Reid holds out, could be one of the toughest coaching divisions to go up against. with that being said, gentlemen, I think we're about right on time, maybe just a minute behind. But Joey Clams has been coming in here. If you haven't been part of the show, guys, he's been treating us well, treating you right. Getting those new suede shoes if you want them down at the shop, man. Because I tell you what, the wagers have been coming through. We're going to end up bringing them in right after we go ahead and bring in his intro. So welcome in Joey Clams here in just a moment, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joey Clams. Mr. Joey Clams, welcome to the show. Part of the K&K Sports Show, part of Claws and Clams, part of Wits and Wagers, man. The man who's been taking care of us on Friday night. Welcome to the show, sir.
And the fathers and sons of Napoli Italian American Athletic Club in Brooklyn, New York. How you doing, everybody? Give me 2-2 with the hard four. Bring the dice up. Put 1,000 on the 7. Let's go.
There you go. Hey, got to give it up. One of your followers was one of the first commenters that came in. We had Doggy Dog World come in here, giving you some big love right off the bat, man. Telling them that, hey, last week, Chiefs, big winner. You must have took care of them over there at Doggy Dog World, man. Joey Clams taking care of everybody, as well as our friends and family at the Denver Bronco Roundup.
Yeah, we did okay last week. We still won some money. We got beat on the 49er game. I was hoping for that guy to make the field goal. At least we could get the over and get the split in the game, because we hit the Ravens and we hit the Ravens total over. We hit Gus Edwards. We hit a couple of props and stuff like that. But the Chiefs we had straight up with on the money line, and we had them plus the points. We pounded the Chiefs last week.
Very good. Our good friend Michael Ronquillo, huge supporter of the show, already coming in and saying, "Evening, Joey Clams." Man, evening.
How you doing, buddy? How are you?
There you go, man. There it is. Let's get right to it, Joey. You've been taking care of us week after week. We're coming down to the end of our NFL season over here on the Denver Bronco Roundup. But let's jump right into it, man. Chiefs, Ravens. It's going to be one heck of a matchup. At least it looks like it on paper. Offenses and defenses on both sides could just be off the charts. I'll give you the line. Ravens right now on DraftKings, that's where I pulled this from, is a 4-point favorite. Over under on that one is 44.5. What are you liking on Chiefs Ravens, Mr. Clams?
Yeah, I just want to break this game down quick. This is going to be a really good game, and the defense for the Ravens is good. But you know what? There's a couple of games they gave up a lot of points. The Rams had their way with them. The Colts had their way with them. There was a couple of games that they gave up some points, but their defense is good. I like their defensive coordinator. I think he's going to be getting the job in Seattle. As last week, if you go back to last week, what he did in the second half, even in the game, the Houston Texans, they didn't snap the ball with double digits on the play clock only twice, and that was on a 2-minute. That was on a 2-minute, offense. So you know what? It was given. He was snapping that with under 10 seconds. He was letting it go down the play clock. He even got a delayed game. It gave the Ravens time to set up, because they're the only team in football that plays 50-50, half man and half zone. They show you a lot of different looks. That's why when that play clock gets to 10, they're moving around, they're getting set, and they see it go down. They know when that snap clock's coming, they can time it good. So I want to see how they do that, and how the Chiefs, if the Chiefs are going to go quick. Since the Raider game, the Chiefs changed their offense. They went back to the old way, a little bit of the West Coast they got going on. So this is going to be a tough game. One place in Vegas, Circle Sports Hotel and Casino, the guy, what's his name, Derek Stevens, runs that out there. He does a fantastic job running that sports book out there. Really good. They have great contests and everything. He went to 4.5 on Baltimore in this game. I'm on the under in this game. I went under 45. I think there's going to be some weather with the rain. I went under. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a tight game. I see the Ravens winning. I don't know if they can cover that spread. I can't see them pulling away from the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs will let them do that. I think that, they're going to run the ball. Lamar's not going to be throwing the ball. We're going to go under his passing total yards also for a prop for the guys out there and gals and kids and whoever.
Working it young.
Bets now. No, it's not right now because the government says it's all right. So now everybody bets. Years ago, everybody, you were a bad guy if you took a bet.
There you go.
Yeah, so the Ravens are going to run the ball. I like the running back Hill over 22.5 receiving yards. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to hit the receivers. I don't think he's going to go downfield that much, Lamar. And I like under his touchdowns, 1.5 touchdowns. He's only throws maybe 1 touchdown a game, or they run the ball a lot. They're going to run Gus Edwards. They're going to run with Edwards. You might see Cook in there a little bit. They gave him some. They gave him some runs last week, and you're going to see Hill. And I think this is a tight game. Hey, man, I think the Ravens are going to win, but with 4 or 4.5, I'll lean towards the Chiefs in this game. But my big play in this game is the under. And here's another prop bet. I like Pacheco to go over 14.5 rushing attempts. They're going to be running the ball also. So this is going to be a tight game and close. I really like the under a lot here. And I lean towards the Chiefs. Mahomes is a dog. He's 39-11 as a dog. Come on. I'll take the points. I might even do a alternate parlay here. On one side, have Chiefs bring it up to plus 7.5, and then on another one, have the Ravens on the money line. So I could, maybe catch a middle. I could get 2 parlays going at the same time. I could be creative like that. I'll have some more stuff given out on the Clams and Claw show on Sunday. We're going to be on Sunday, 12 Eastern. Before an hour before for kickoff or pregame. And here's another one I got so far for you to jump on.
Okay.
McCaffrey under 37.5 receiving yards. McCaffrey under 37.5 receiving yards. The Lions do give up a lot of yards in the air, but not really to running backs.
Man, you got it all, man. We had Pacheco on the 14.5 receiving yards. Or 14.5 receptions, right?
No, rushing attempts.
Oh, rushing attempts. I'm so sorry, man. I need to get all my notes in order. You're going so quick, man. 1.5 TDs from
give me your phone number. I'll text it all to you.
There you go. Well, I'm just saying, man, for all of our listeners, it didn't matter if it was Hill, didn't matter if it was Jackson, didn't matter if it was Pacheco. Man, I mean, you had it all figured out. The one that you love, though, the over under 44.5. You love the under. That's the easy one that anyone should be able to pick out. I should easy.
Nothing's easy, my man. Nothing's easy. This is hard.
Oh man,
you don't gamble, right? You don't gamble, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You don't like to sit there and feel your guts getting torn up.
There you go, buddy.
Blood and throwing up. You can't even eat your monogots on Sunday. Doggy dog knows all about it.
There you go. Not easy. I'm just saying, hey, of all the things that you like, the under on the 44.5 was one of the ones you picked up right off the bat, I guess is the best way to put it. Kurt Valente is just coming in here really quick saying, Clamsy, home this weekend. How about them Johnnies? How about those Knicks?
Oh, they're home, baby. Hey, basketball's back at the Mecca, at the world's most famous arena with the St. John's Red Storm and the New York Knickerbockers.
There you go, buddy. We do have Doggy Dog World coming here and saying, what's up, clan? Good to see a big dog. And saying the good old days are gone. Driving over to Chubby's place to put some action in.
That was the candy store. When you had no more credit to bet over the phone, you had to go bet with cash. You went to there was every candy store. There was a guy taking action. Chubby took action in the back. They had They had a potato chip stand with 1 potato chip and 2 packs of gum in there. It was a front, you know. He took all the cash bets. All the degenerates that couldn't bet over the phone. Now they had to go bet cash bets. They were, betting thousands on the game. Now they're betting $50 or $100. They had to cut their bet in half by 90%.
Wow. Jody, I want to hit you really quick. Throw your mic on. Who do you like in this game? I mean, hey man, it's almost a straight up game. 4.5 favorites for the Ravens. Of course, they're the home team. They usually get 3 right off the bat. Who do you like in this game? Chiefs, Ravens, Mr. Jody Moncrief. Oh, I think I need your microphone on there, buddy.
Ravens, but close. When you have a unicorn and Patrick Mahomes, he keeps you in a lot of games.
Very good. Ravens is the way Jody's going. Trevor, what are your thoughts on them? I'm going to go back over to Mr. Clams, hit that Lions 49ers before we get out of here.
Oh, this is a tough game. I've been back and forth on this one. I mean, obviously don't want the Chiefs to win as a Bronco fan, but I can't go against Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry. I have to go Chiefs.
Very good, man.
Hey, I got one more
thing.
thing. Now with the Chiefs, right? You think let me ask you guys, you think their offense has got a little bit back to where it was, or do you think they played 2 defenses that were deployed in the linebacker position with Miami and that mass unit with the Bills that we talked about last week?
Great point, Joey. I don't think this offense has gotten back on track. I don't think they've ever felt like they've gotten in a groove. They're not the same team that we've seen the last couple of years. That's why I think Baltimore will be able to expose them. What are your thoughts on that, Trevor?
Yeah, I think that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have a way of turning it on when they need to. So I think that they have, in a way, they've adjusted. They know they need to. I think run the ball more efficiently has also been a big part of it. Their defense is, they're just more of a complete team than I think they ever have been, and they match up well against the Ravens, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a game. Jody, your thoughts on
it? How about Snead on Flowers?
That's going to be a fantastic matchup. Yeah, absolutely. Jody, your thoughts on that? Did the Chiefs get lucky and going up against a couple of defenses that were beat up, and now they're going up against Baltimore? Do you think it'll be a different challenge?
Yeah, I think so. One thing the Chiefs did do is their receivers are starting to catch the ball finally.
This is true. At least we got that going for us. Before we get out of here, heck, we got a whole other game to talk about. Lions, 49ers. 49ers are at home. 49ers have been laying the wood as of lately, and they're laying the wood in the odds. On DraftKings, it looks like they're 7.5 point favorites. The over-under on this is 51.5. What do you like in this game, Mr. Joey Clams? Talk about this game a little bit as well.
Yeah, this game is going to be the first time that the Lions have been outside, I think, in maybe 8 games. They've been playing on the living room carpet for the last I think 8 out of 9 games, and it's finally they're going to come outside. It's not the weather, it's the surface. It might take them maybe a quarter or almost a half before they start getting their traction and everything. Maybe they might have to change their cleats because they're not used to wearing cleats. They're used to wearing turf shoes.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that. I think that could be a little bit of a difference. Their secondary is a sieve. It's really bad. They give up a lot of big plays. They're tops in the league, like 32nd on big plays with the secondary. I think the 49ers are going to put up points. I think they're going to have a good game, but I think the Lions are going to be scoring points also. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. Let's see how they run on the grass instead of the turf. Let's see if they, but if they're able to run the ball and make plays with the receivers with passes, it's going to be a close game. I like the Lions over team total 20.5. The Lions to go over themselves. It's the team total. Lions over 20.5. I like that a lot. I think they'll get there. Even if the 49ers are the lead and the Lions going to play from behind, they're going to be throwing the ball. I know the 49ers didn't look good. Shanahan, he has to win this game. He has to have a good coaching game. What he did last week at the end of that first half, what he did with that clock, not trying to score a touchdown and trying to line up for a field goal to hold the ball so they don't get the ball back. So you try not to get them 3 points. Come on. You got a powerful offense. Let's go. Take the training wheels off. Let's go. I hope they had a good practice. And Debo's playing. He could be maybe a decoy a little bit, but they're gonna be throwing the ball. I see Purdy going over his total and passing, but I'll have more on that on Sunday. I'll have a side in the Chiefs game more on Sunday, but that I love the total in that. This game I like the 49ers minus the 7. I think they could get into the 30s and hold the Lions into the low 20s, like a 31, 23, 33, 23 game, something like that. I think because they're going to be able to move the ball. And but I think the Lions are going to get points too.
Very good. Now, DraftKings has it currently at 7.5 right before we went on. Does that make a difference for you, that 7 to 7.5? Joey, talk about that.
Absolutely. Say game lands 31-24. I lay 7.5. I lose by the half a point.
Mm-hmm. Got
you
the
hook. You get hooked. You take the bait. Now I laid 7 earlier. We were on it. Gave it out. We laid 7. You could always, I think 7's good to lay with this. If you get a parlay, you could go down to 6.5. So you don't want to get eat up on the juice. You don't want to lose. You don't want to get juice. If you go from 7.5 to 7, you're gonna have to pay some juice. It's gonna cost you. So, there'll be some 7s out there. This game is getting hit with a lot of Lions money. There's more Lions money in this game than the 49ers, but the Lions going up. So a lot of public money is on the Lions. It's like,
underdog.
It's the darling right now. It's just, it's the Cinderella, great story to coach. Let's go get him. Everybody loves the guy.
Yep.
He's becoming a folk hero now. And but I like the 49ers. I think they bounce back. And I think Goff might have a little bit of a rough day, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. The main thing is, man, we got to stay tuned to K&K Sports Show. We got to stay tuned because things are, like you said, always changing up to the minute. Heck, lines moving the whole 9 yards. When we'll be able to catch you next, Joey, as we lead into these games? Give us that real quick.
Yeah, you're gonna catch me Clams and Claws or the Claws and Clam Show. I don't even know which way it goes. But all I know is we're going up to the window. We're cashing tickets, my man. You're gonna catch us Sunday at noon. We're gonna break down all the games a little more. We're gonna have more time to do it for everybody.
Yeah.
We'll get the late injury reports coming in. Big injury with the Lions center. I mean, he's going to play. The guy's a warrior. He's going to go out there and play. He's going to be all juiced up. Like I talked to somebody I know, talked to Pritchett. He used to play for you guys, the wide receiver. Mike Pritchett.
Yep.
He says, "Hey man," he says, "Debo's going to tell him, give me the strongest thing you got.
Get me out on the field, huh?"
That's how it is. This is the NFC Championship. This is the AFC Championship. Everybody's got to play. If you're breathing, you got to get on the field. So
that's a noon Eastern time for Clams and Claws, right?
Yeah, noon Eastern. The Clams and Claws. All right, man.
I want to get some thoughts on this game from my co-host really quick, though. Trevor, what are your thoughts as the 49ers and the Lions face off?
Yeah, so I like the 49ers in this one. I think it's going to come down to which defense breaks first in this game, in my opinion. And I think it's going to start with the running backs, McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs. It'd be interesting to see which one steps up. I think whichever one steps up will determine who wins the game, in my opinion. But give me the 49ers in this one. I think they have too much. Unfortunately, I'm hoping for Lions because for Carson's sake and just because I like the Lions and they deserve the best. But I think 49ers will.
Yeah.
Firepower, in my opinion.
I think I'm going to be in agreement. Jody, what are your thoughts on that as well, sir?
Oh, I second all that. The only thing is do you get Brock Purdy from the regular season or do you get Brock Purdy from the last 2 games? He hasn't been very good lately. Jared Goff, he's been on fire the last couple of games. So if you get good Jared Goff, you may keep him in this game.
Yeah, that's true, man. I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm pulling for the Lions as well. But, man, I've been rooting against the 49ers. Or I shouldn't say rooting against the 49ers. I've been expecting this 49ers team to fall. I expected things to catch up with Brock Purdy. And quite honestly, it's now that we're in the postseason, we've seen just the opposite. So I'm done doubting. I got to go with the 49ers on this one as well.
Hey, Keith.
Joey? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got the big screen. What do you got, buddy?
And I want to talk about that Lions defense. I mean, Mullins of the Vikings had back-to-back 400-yard games against them. They're giving up about 370 yards a game. The 49ers. You know what? It's their blueprint is there for them to do it with all the weapons they got against a bad secondary, and that you could shoot them up. It's now or never. This is a big game. Listen, I think more pressure. I think the more pressure on anybody, player or coach, in this playoffs is on Shanahan. More than Lamar Jackson. I think all the pressure is on Shanahan. Hello?
Oh, Keith's froze. Looks like Keith's internet messing up a little bit.
Well, I definitely agree with that. That Shanahan has the most pressure.
Yeah.
He's got a loaded roster. He has yet to win the big one. Yeah. Only made one Super Bowl.
And he was part of that Falcons Super Bowl too when they had the
a lot of things going for him,
lead.
going against
and
him,
and they were
or
snapping the
needing
ball
to go
with
his
double
way.
digits.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got to show up. He's got to get this team together. Their offensive line got pushed around last week.
Yeah, gotta get that running game going.
Yeah, they got pushed around a little bit last week by the Packers.
Well, Joey, I don't mean to be having some technical issues. Boy, I'm having issues, guys. I'll let you guys continue on if you can hear me for just a second. I might try to switch my internet connection here real quick and get us out of here in just a moment.
Hey, guys, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, it's Keith's internet that's messing up.
Where is he?
now he's gonna come back and now he's gonna go back and reset his internet. He said, but Joe, just thank you for all that advice. I really appreciate you coming on each and every Friday. We really appreciate you having you.
Oh no, I love coming on here. You guys are very knowledgeable and very passionate about your teams. Your Denver Broncos. What's the Avalanche doing tonight? That was a play tonight. Avalanche on the money line.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a play tonight. The sharp money was on the Avalanche tonight.
They're playing the Kings. They're up 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
Did you lay any money on the Knicks last night?
Yeah, they had Knicks and San Francisco in college plus the 9.5. The Dons. They went up.
There you go. There you go, Joey. I'm back.
They went up to Gonzaga to the kennel. We took the money. We had the dog.
There you go. Joey, I'm back. Sorry about dropping out on you. Hopefully you also had Luka Doncic for plus 70 points tonight because he dropped 73 as well against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm just joking, man. But congratulations to Luka and what a phenomenal performance. Joey, we're going to have to get out of here as a Denver Bronco podcast as well. We're going to have to jump you out of here as well. Thank you so much for coming on here every single Friday, man. We expect you back here getting us set up for Super Bowl weekend as well. Maybe a few more prop bets since we only have two teams to talk about. How's that?
100%. 12 o'clock noon. Tune in on Sunday. You're gonna hear a couple of different things and some late information to get on, prop information. Maybe you're gonna get what kind of offense somebody's gonna run that could change everything. And listen, good luck to everybody. And hey, all you guys in your lifetime, may your only pain be champagne. Chin down.
Love it. Thank you, Joey Clams. Have a great night, sir.
Hey, Clams.
No one else like him, guys. No one else like him, Mr. Joey Clams, getting us all taken care of. Whitson Wagers. Of course, check out the K&K Sports Show. You can check out Claws and Clams. He'll get you set up all the way to the last minute, noon Eastern time. Check those guys out. Fantastic having Clams, guys. Fantastic having Joey. Sorry about the internet breakup, guys. I'm back. I'm full force in order to get us on out of here. So, man, let's get some closing thoughts in, man. You know what? I'm going to give a final floor to Mr. Jody Moncrief. So, Trevor, why don't you go ahead and take it away to start, man?
Oh, yeah. I just want to thank everybody again for being here tonight, supporting us. Again, we really appreciate it. Thank you to Mr. Joey Clams for joining us on Fridays. It's been a blast having him. And again, guys, go check out his show, Carson and Clams, at the KK Sports Show. Guys, just great show. Again, can't wait for some playoff football. Again, good to see all this settles on down. Looking forward to the offseason when our Denver Broncos starts getting to work and start making this roster better. We'll be on the Shrine Bowl next week. So we'll be able to talk about that a little bit, get some reports back. So stay tuned for that. And guys, we'll be back again Sunday. So we'll have your winners and stuff like that here, right? And so stay tuned to the show and like, subscribe, share, do all those great things. Again, we really appreciate having everybody here in the chat, interact with all you guys. You guys mean the world to us, and go Broncos.
Absolutely, man. A lot of people coming in saying it was a pleasure. Great show. Keith, Jody, Trevor coming in from Michael Ronquillo. Great job, guys. And Joey Clams coming in from Kenny Kirkpatrick. Pearl's recommending that we bring him back, Joey, for the Kentucky Derby. Right now, I'm going to bring Jody on for some final thoughts, though, man. Jody, I know it's been contentious. A lot of quarterback talk, especially behind in the chats, man. We'll all get through this together. That being said, why don't you say some final thoughts? Get us out of here this evening. Oh, microphone, sir.
Thanks to Joey. Thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Hopefully we get a couple of good games. No blowouts. 2 exciting games. Hopefully the Chiefs do not win. And hopefully we have a resolution pretty soon at quarterback. Hopefully Denver makes a decision on Russ quick so we can end this debate one way or the other. And looking forward to just see how things play out. Couple months to the draft, and before you know it, we'll know who our next quarterback is.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing who that decision come down the line. Know exactly what we're doing, where we're heading, the direction that we're going, man. But we're going to try to keep you guys on spot and on par, like Trevor said, man. Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl coming up, of course. Draft process in full swing. Free agency right around the corner, man. It's going to be really active, guys, and we're going to keep it all going and get you guys up to speed and keep you guys informed and have a great conversation. Want to thank everybody that jumped in. We talked about Pearl. We talked about Kenny, Roger, Michael Ronquillo, Doggy Dog World. Sorry, man. Thank you for jumping over here. I know that you're supporting Joey Clams. Hopefully we maybe talked you into watching a little bit more of the Denver Bronco Roundup as well. Man, we had a lot of good friends and family. If I missed any of you guys in the chat, I certainly I have a couple of names I'm getting to the top, Martin and Rigo as well. So like I said, fantastic show, guys. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on X. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. Remember, if you're on YouTube, comment winner, and that gets you entered. I saw Graham, Clayton, and Martin all drop that winner in tonight. They're all entered and ready to go, guys. We are brought to you by the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Don't forget to check out Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Dropped a link in for Trevor's latest article, but there's lots of articles up there, some nuggets over there. Of course, they're doing their own thing over there in the NBA. You can check out some articles on that as well. Great podcast about the Nuggets as well. So, guys, RockyMountainSN.com. That's RockyMountainSN.com. You can also search them out on Facebook, YouTube, X. Of course, they'll get you all taken care of for all your Colorado sports. Guys, we're going to get out of here. It's been a fantastic show. I've been your host, Keith Brugman. We've had wonderful co-hosts in Mr. Trevor Salzman and Jody Moncrief. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. let's go ahead and get on out of here. Our standard get on out of here. Keep your feet in your stirrups. Keep your guns in your holsters. Keep the Broncos in your heart. And hey, until Sunday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we'll see you soon.